morning. Today's devotion continues in Ruth chapter 1, and this is going to finish out the first chapter. And it goes like this. But Ruth replied, "Don't urge me to abandon you, to turn back from following after you. Wherever you go, I will go, and wherever you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Wherever you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord do this to me, and more so, if even death separates me from you." When Naomi saw that Ruth was determined to go with her, she stopped speaking to her about it. So both of them went along until they arrived at Bethlehem. When they arrived at Bethlehem, the whole town was excited on account of them. And the women of the town asked, "Can this be Naomi?" She replied to them, "Don't call me Naomi, but call me Mara, for the Almighty has made me very bitter. I went away full, but the Lord has returned me empty. Why would you call me Naomi when the Lord has testified against me and the Almighty has deemed me guilty?" Thus Naomi returned, and Ruth the Moabite, her daughter-in-law, returned with her from the territory of Moab. They arrived in Bethlehem at the beginning of the barley harvest. Naomi is trying to drive everybody in her life away. She says that she's too bitter, that the Lord has punished her, when it's probably more just the reality of the situation that she was living in. People didn't live a long time. But she feels like she's being punished for some unnamed sin, that whatever is going wrong in her life is her fault. She doesn't even see that there are people who are giving her blessings. Ruth is determined to be with her, to support her, to bless her life. And when she returns home, the people welcome her with open arms. They're so excited to see her. You can picture them rushing out of the neighborhood. "Oh, Naomi, finally you're home. You're home. We're so glad you're home." And all Naomi can see is her own bitterness. And maybe it's because she's afraid to be close to people, because the people she'd been close to, her husband and her two sons, had died. And she doesn't want to risk that kind of emotional connection. That's understandable. And maybe it's because her life didn't turn out the way she thought it would. It wasn't the picture that she had planned for her life. And so that has turned her bitter. And what's such a shame about that is that she's not able to see the love that is poured out to her by her community, by her family. Ruth and Orpah, to some extent, and the people of Bethlehem, all of them love Naomi. But she can't get past her own bitterness, her own narrow worldview, to see that she has much to still be thankful for. How often do we let our own anger and resentment and bitterness and guilt keep us from seeing the things we have to be thankful for?